Hi everybody and welcome back to Nellie Ruth Designs. Today I'm going to take you on a quick tour of my office. I've been in, I shouldn't say office. I've always called it an office. It's actually my craft room. I've been in here 1 year now. I think it's been a full year since I moved in. This used to be my son's bedroom, and I was just down the hall, which I'll show you in a little bit. That's where I keep my overflow of items, books, papers, things like that. And I want to just show you the closet, and I want to tell you, you don't have to keep everything in your craft room. If you have other storage areas, by all means, use those storage areas. But I wanted to show you a quick tour and how I've organized my items here in my craft room. Um, we all have a tendency to have too much. We have things that we really don't need. I'm starting to purge. I have 3 piles that I'm going to be sending to 3 different gals that I talk with on Instagram. And one of the gals on YouTube had seen one of my journals that I don't use. I was trying to sell, and I'm just going to send that to her. I'm not ever going to use it, and I really need to start getting rid of some of my stuff here. So if you'd like to go on the tour, stick around, grab a cup of coffee. I'm going to try to make it quick. I basically want to show you how I store my goodies and my thinking behind how I label things, how I group things together. Um, and just some little things that you can use. You don't really have to go out and buy anything to store your items. So again, I'd love to have you stick around. For those that are returning, welcome back. For those that are new, thank you. I've had some new subscribers and I'm really enjoying chatting with everyone. So I really appreciate it. So I think the first thing we'll do, I'm not going to go into great detail, um, but you can see this is a little sitting area, and this is where my girl Bella comes in and sits in the chair, or my husband will come in, my son will come in, they'll sit here and chat with me. Over here I have my TV. You'll see where I can watch my Roku and my Netflix while I'm crafting. So sometimes they'll come in and watch a little something with me. Um, but this section here is just kind of like my memory section. The little touch Singer sewing machine, that is what I received when I was 5 from my mom. So this is basically all memorabilia items that mean a lot to me, and I'll do a little close up and explain a few things there. But this little cubby here is a great little spot, and everybody feels cozy and warm when they come in here and sit and hang with me. If there's something on the back of my chair, such as this, it means it needs mending. These are sweatpants of my son's that I need to do. So I tell everybody, if you need something mended or you need a button put on, just throw it on the back of the chair. I'll see it and I'll do it. Although those have been sitting there for probably 3 months now. I just haven't gotten around to it. Haven't really wanted to do it. It's not a priority. So let me pause here for a minute. I'm going to stop it. I'll give you a little tour up close and personal of things that I like to collect that mean a lot to me. And then we're going to start over here with this Hobby Lobby case here. This floor stand, and I'll explain a little bit that to you, and then I'll show you what I have inside. So all right, let's get started. So this is a little closer viewing of the things that mean a lot to me and that I keep out, and just good memories. So here I have all of most of my mom's sewing books, the complete family sewing book. Those two I did purchase. I'd like to make junk journals out of them. Sometime I will show you that book. It's a fabulous book. It's all divided, and that would really make a nice junk journal. That one there, the complete family sewing book. Like I said, the little touch sewing machine, I've had that since I was 5. Almost 60 years now I've had that. So, and that's just really good memories. The cup here was sent to me by a wonderful Instagram friend, and it just reminds me of Jenny. The I think this is, I want to say Memory Keepers. I originally bought this to sew paper, and it doesn't work that well. So I just think it's a cool add-on, and I keep it up there. In the corner, I have a Simplicity sewing catalog, counter catalog book, which I really like. A lot of good. That's from the 70s, and there was a lot of patterns in there, outfits my mom made me. So that's good memories. Um, as you know, I'm a Betsy Clark freak. I love everything Betsy Clark. So this is my little collection. It's my little January angel I got when I was 6 years old. Um, so I just keep a lot of my little Betsy Clark items. And just so you know, Betsy Clark is not the same as Precious Moments. Precious Moments, I believe, was started by Global Limited or Global Inc. Betsy Clark, and it's Betsey. She was actually the artist that created all of these wonderful little figures. So, if you're wondering, if you say, "Oh yeah, I like Precious Moments too," they aren't the same. They're two different. They're two different animals. And then the Barbies. I just recently started to collect the vintage Barbies, and my husband got me this beautiful one at Christmas time, and I just love her. And then my son, for my birthday, he gave me the Working Girl, and I just love these. And these, I believe, they're called Silkstone, and they have the hard bodies, just like they did back when Barbie first came out in the 50s. And I only collect the vintage Barbies. I don't collect the new modern ones. I don't like them. Got a Barbie pattern back there. Sorry about the light. It's just kind of shining off of my floor lamp here. And some more Betsy Clark. And this here is a button box that my mom had when I was little. And I used to play with her buttons. And it's still full of her buttons. So we are going to go now over to the side. And I'm going to talk with you a little bit about this rack here from Hobby Lobby. And this floor unit, I just love it. So the rounder to the left is, I believe I purchased that from Pottery Barn, and it's wonderful to hold cards. So I'm going to station my phone, and then I can show you the drawers, and I want to show you, I'm going to try to position it where I can show you this section of this old TV cabinet as well. All right, so this is the rack from Hobby Lobby. You can see it stands probably about, oh, I don't know, maybe, is this what, 5 feet tall? Maybe. I'm not real good with heights. I could measure, but it's a really nice unit. I ordered this online, and it just has 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 18 smaller upper drawers, and then has 4 larger drawers down here at the bottom. And they're really nice sized. And I have all of mine labeled. They give you nice little spots here to put labels. So like I have Tim Holtz Ephemera, Tim Holtz People, Tim Holtz Phrases. I have chipboard, all my hardware, cut birds and fish. So I have, I've got my die cut flowers, die cut modern, Victorian, magazine, book ephemera. I have a lot of different items. Like here I have my Julie Nutting. So you can see here that this is a pretty big drawer, and it can hold quite a bit of goodies in here. They're fairly deep, and they're good size. So I can really pack these full. Like with the my magazine book, Ephemera. I'll try to do this so it doesn't spill over. It's kind of awkward here, the way I'm doing it. But you can see everything that I have in here. I just have a ton of stuff. So these, I'm going to tell you how these measure, though, because I do want to, because they're a nice size. So each one of these drawers are 2¼ inches, and they are, as far as the depth, they're 12 inches. So they do hold a lot of items. And then the larger drawers down here, these are 5 inches, and again 5 by 12. And you can see, like in this one here, I'm just going to show you. I have large bags here full of ephemera. And you can really see everything. These are really deep drawers. 5 inches. You can hold a lot of items in here. And I've just separated everything out. Here's another one. So this is a really good stack of items in here. And you can really put a lot of items in these drawers. So this is a really nice unit. And I'm sure you can still order it online. I think it was maybe $150 at the time. It might have been less. I think I got it on sale. But this is it's very sturdy. It's built really well. So you might want to take, something like that into consideration, because it does hold a lot. And then this is the rack here I was showing you before. And this, it's on a spin. And when I make a lot of homemade cards, and I buy cards, and this is just a great place to obviously store your cards. And they're already, I can just go through them, see what I have. These are Post-it notes, vintage Post-it notes from current. So they fit perfectly in here. So this is a really nice idea. If you use Post-it notes and cards for your junk journal supplies, it's a nice way to store them. And then I really enjoy little sewing boxes such as this. And I like to store my laces and things in my sewing boxes, as they all fall out. But again, these little boxes are perfect to store items. Then you can just pick them up and, take them over to your desk. And I keep all of my cardboard little end clippings when I make journals. And then I just wind the ribbon and the lace around these little cardboard units, and it makes it easier to find them, keep them organized. They're not all bunched up and making a mess and clumping together. So I really like a lot of little, I have another sewing basket here. It has cute little legs on it. I keep this next to my chair. And again, I keep all my tool in this basket, and it does hold a lot. So I know where, at a moment's notice, where all of my tool is. And again, sewing baskets are cute. They're decorative, and they just make a nice addition to your craft room. So, all right. So next we're going to, let's see if I can just change this down here. We're going to go over to this unit here. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get fancy with my camera holder. I may not be able to. Yeah, as we spring up. All right, I can do it like that. It's a little awkward, but that's okay. So in this cabinet here, this is an old TV cabinet that we used to have. down in our family room. And I kind of commandeered it. And this works out really well because I have my PlayStation here, my PS4 that my boys are letting me use to watch my YouTube videos on. And I have an LG TV here to watch everything. So it works out well. And then in this cubby here, I found a rack. Can you see this? It's a little awkward here. Let's go like this. I have this rack, and it comes with dividers, and it actually is part of the Martha Stewart cabinet that I'm going to be showing you. But I don't like to use these in the rack because I like to have a nice big open drawer. So a rack like this really works well with all of my 4x4 papers. And I have them organized by category or color. So I can just pull this out and I can take whatever papers that I want, and it fits perfectly in here, just like that. So I know where all of the 4x4s are. Or actually 6x6. I'm sorry, I'm saying 4x4. Another type of container you can use in your craft room this is just an old plastic container that my mom used to keep her curlers and her perm rods in. And she left a lot of sequins from her crafts. So I went through, she had them in she had them in bags, but they were so old, they were ripping and they were disintegrating. So I have a lot of my sequins and things like that in this plastic case. And again, I know I've separated them by size. I have the small ones in these tiny little bags here that are just like maybe like an inch, two by 2 inches. All right. And then, you know, I have all the different styles, and these are old vintage ones that I've put in here. So this whole box is just full of sequins that I can use. And again, I didn't go out and buy anything fancy. These bags here, you can get, these are really nice storage bags. And if you have a Walmart close by, let's see if I can get this open. I buy these bags at Walmart, and they used to be $100 for $1. They're probably like $1.50 now, or $1.75. But they come in different sizes, and they're perfect for, you know, if you don't have a lot of any one type of sequin or button, you can buy all different sizes. And then I take them and just put them in one of the little larger bags. And then that's how I store a lot of little things like this. So I keep my sequins in here. They're all nice and neat. I know exactly where they are. So that's an easy storage right there. And it fits perfectly in there. These here are 8x8 pads, and I don't use these that often. I just bought this new one, Stamperia. The Cosmos. I'd like to do something with that. But I keep these all down below because they're not 12 by 12 and they're odd sizes. A lot of them are double-sided. So I keep my odds and end 6x6 and 8x8s all together in one section. I have my paints. It's really easy to find my watercolors and my chalks. I just keep them right over here on the side with paint brushes that I haven't used yet. And it does help. I like the open container here because it does help me keep my eyes on things. If they're always put away and behind closed doors, I don't always remember where they are. So this works really well. And the other thing I wanted to tell you, I purchased this at Hobby Lobby for my paints and mixing, but you don't need to. I think I paid $6 for this, and I haven't used it yet. It's a acrylic, and I don't know. The paint doesn't really do much in here. And I find what I really like to use are old meat containers. So if you purchase hamburg or pork chops, whatever you might have, the styrofoam container that your meat comes in, just wash it really, really good. And these work really, really well for mixing for your mixed media and things like that. It's just a nice little styrofoam container. Okay, we are going to head down and I'll show you what's behind this drawer, this door here, and where I store some of my other items. All right, so the center drawer here, I have a lot of just supplies I either don't use, I intend to use, or I only use occasionally. That's why it's behind the closed door. Again, I used to work a lot with glitter, and I don't anymore, but I don't want to get rid of it, but I do want to know where it is, so I keep that tucked in here. I have items like my royal coat decoupage, my shoe polish items in here. I have extra paint brushes. Take this out for the shoe polish. I have my gesso. In here I have more of my paint brushes that I use, sponges. So these, again, because they're only used occasionally, but enough where I don't want to keep them out. I keep them tucked in here, and I know where they are, and that's a good little spot for them. I keep my extra Yoo-hoos in here with some tape. These boxes here are all, these go with, if I can get one out, these are the inks for my Stampin' Up, all my Stampin' Up pads, because I don't like buying new pads every time one runs out. So I have 2 boxes of inks here, and I can just, these are the inks that I use a lot, and I can just refill. This is a photo box, one of that you can buy at Michael's, and I keep all of my Stampin' Up pads in here, and then I can just pull them out and use them when I want to. So I have those there. And then this, I don't use often, and I really should. I have it's a mini Xyron. So this is good if you have a delicate cut and you don't want to use your glue on it. You can just run it through and it will create a sticky back. So I keep that in there with the refill containers, and that works out really well. I know by heart what's in there. And then over here at this end, this is where I keep a lot of my vintage magazines for my collage work. I have the little golden magazines, and then I have my Better Homes and Gardens from the 1940s. So this is where I keep all of my vintage magazines for collage work. I've got Family Circles, a gardening book, my Women's Day, more Better Homes. So that's where they all sit until I need to pull them out. And then I have my music station here. And then on top of my work desk is where I have, from here over is where I start, accumulating a little bit more. I have all of my Edith Holden books here, which I have yet to cut into. I just can't bring myself. I really want to make some things with her images. I have 3 books and I'm just hoarding them, but I have a really hard time cutting into them because they're just so beautiful. And then this here is a little journal that I will work on. This is my Italy, from my Italy trip, and I have a lot to put in here. And so every now and then I'll take that, but I keep that out so I can see it and remember to work on that. This is a little gratitude journal that Robin over at, I think it's Bluebird Nest on Instagram, she made and sent to me. And I write, every now and then I write my gratitudes in here and what I'm thankful for. So this stays out all the time. And then these are just books that I use all the time for collage work and journaling cards and whatever. And then these are all my favorite books that I will fussy cut out of. This is a nice plant floral book. And then back here, I have all my little mini books that I run to and I use in collaging and things such as that. I used to have all of my books out, but I don't. It's just too overwhelming. And here I have my essential oil, my little container there, because I do like to have my essential oils in my office, my craft room. When I'm crafting, it keeps me calm. So that is this station right here. And it's just, it works for me. It's simple. I've cleaned it out. I've thinned it out. And the only things that I need on here are the things that I use. So the next station, we're going to go over to this corner here. And I want to show you how I store a lot of my fabrics, ephemera, some of my scrapbooking items. So we will move over there next. So I'm going to show you just a little close-up tour here of this corner before I set the phone. And actually I can use two hands to show you what's in all of the suitcases. And this is my favorite corner, because this is where most of my items are that I dig through and I look through. And this is the Martha Stewart piece of furniture that I have. That I bought this many, many years ago. It had to be back in the early 90s on QVC. You can't find this anymore. I've had people ask me, where can I buy one? It's not available. But this here is just, I call it my little crafty corner, because this is my go-to for everything. So let me show you now close up and what is in all of the suitcases. All right, so in this corner here, I tried to get the camera angle situated so you can see really well when I pull a suitcase. The bottom here, well, I have a little stack of faux, which I use a lot. These are all faux stamps in here. And these were all fussy cut from a vintage stamp book. And these are a lot of fun to use. They're very colorful. They're stamps from all over the world, all different events. And I really, really, really enjoy using these in collage work or with some of my ephemera. So if you can ever find a stamp book, I highly suggest you grab it, because there's a lot of fun things you can do with these. These suitcases here, this one here, and this one, and this one, and the one up above, you'll see. These all came from Michael's Crafts. And I would really recommend you doing a one-time investment with these. I bought these on sale, I think when they were 40% off. And because I'm a stickler, I don't like to spend a lot of money on storage items, and I really only buy things on sale. But these were, I think they were like $11 when I got them, maybe $9.99, and they can hold a tremendous amount of goods. In here I have a lot of miscellaneous, sorry about that, miscellaneous ephemera. And actually these need to be moved, but I have everything organized, separated as to how I want to use things. A lot of things are complete already. There's items in here that I want to use. and I basically know what's in a lot of these little pouches. But again, you can really fit a lot of items in these little suitcases. I have magazines in here that I want to be using. So this one here I just use for random miscellaneous pieces to use on ephemera. And I do have to reorganize this and clean it out. And I've got some sewing patterns in here, but you can see these really hold a lot. So this one I just keep set up on the side over here like this. My stamps there. Then these two here I am in all the time. This one here is full of my, and again, you can see how much it holds. These are all different pieces of lace and things. This is from Blue Fern. All little tiny lace pieces. I have linen. I have linen in here. I've got I keep my doilies. My doilies that I have, I keep them in here. I buy these from a gal on, they're really pretty. I buy these from a gal on Etsy, and she crochets all of these herself. And the name of the shop, I will tell you. Journey of Crafting. And these run a handmade doily pack, multi-pack of 3 is $3.75. So you really can't go wrong with her items. Here's one, a handmade doily pack, multi-pack of 3. I bought 4 of them because they were $2.95. So it's, her shop again is really great. Journey of Crafting, and you can find her on Etsy. But again, this is where I keep all of my lace samples. I have more ribbon in here. But this holds a lot. I mean, you can see down in here, I've got egads of lace. Way too much that I'll ever use. But it's there, and it's all tucked inside here, and it works out really well. And then this big boy here, this is a big one. This used to be my dad's suitcase. And this one here, I love vintage suitcases, and I don't have my tape measure. It's over on the chair, but I love vintage suitcases. And this one really is the bomb because look at all of the fabric that this fits in here. And I'm talking a ton of fabric. And get my hands under here. And I have packs that I bought from Jules and April on Instagram. They sell a lot of vintage items. I have some of the pieces I've bought at Walmart, the fat quarters, and then I have a lot of vintage in here that I took from my mom's house. I have all of this, because again, you can see how much it holds. This is yards and yards of the Simplicity Women fabric that I have. This I have in here. There's, I think this is an old tablecloth, but I wanted it for the embroidery. So this really, it holds all of my fabrics that I use. See, I just used this on my JoJo Junk Journal. But it can just hold a ton. So I suggest, again, if you have an old suitcase that you're not using, even one with wheels that you can stand up on the side of a cabinet or whatever, I highly suggest you storing your fabrics in that, because this has been just wonderful for me to store so much fabric in here. And it keeps it, it keeps it from not being bleached out by the sun. It keeps the colors vibrant. And these are, this is Stampin' Up! Material that I purchased a long time ago. More packs of fabric. So I'm really all set in the world of fabric. I don't need any more, but again, if you can get your hands on an old suitcase, and this one is old. I'm thankful that it doesn't smell old or anything like that. But it's a wonderful storage container to use. So I keep all my fabrics there. I keep my laces there so I know exactly where they are. And then up to the next drawer here, the next shelf here, again, this here and this here are wonderful storage containers. And again, I keep little boxes. You can find these little boxes at the dollar store or whatever. And these boxes, I keep all of my charms in. All of my charms for my junk journals or the ephemera I make. These are all snowflakes. I have beads. And again, you can see just how much these boxes hold. And I think they're just wonderful for identifying. This is just left over from my Christmas journal. I haven't put that away yet. This, I have all of my gourd pins. I keep them right with my charms so I know where they are. Oh, this again is just filled with little items that I used in my junk journal, my Christmas junk journal that needs to be organized and put away. And then this is the box here. Again, that is really, you can really get a lot in these boxes. These are very deep. It might be like 10 inches deep. But I have this one here for Christmas because I have all of my Christmas items in here. All of my K and Company little embellishments, and you can just see this is just chock full of Christmas. And I really don't need any more than this. I do have some ribbon in here. It holds a lot. So I just kind of throw everything in here, and then this is my go-to pile when I want to make a journal or whatever. I just come in here and I start gathering items and I bring it out. And again, I chose a Christmas box. So I knew that all of my Christmas items were in here. I wasn't looking for them. And then these here just go back up on here, and I know where everything is. This old shoe box is just placed here for now. It's full of postage stamps that I need to soak and organize. That will be another day. This here, this little section, this is a Tupperware celery or a cracker box. I'm not sure what my mom used it for. She had a lot of Tupperware, and I grabbed it and I use it for a lot. These here, I do a lot of scrapbooking, family scrapbooking, and as you know, these tall sheets, they're kind of hard to store sometimes, and so I found that this Tupperware container really works well to store items such as this in here. And then if I have any left over, I just store it on the side of my bookshelf, and then I keep the cover to the container here to kind of keep things straight and so they don't fall through. So that's how I store my Christmas items. Up here on this level here, again, these are all of my, I do have a video on how to make these books on my channel. These are my pocket folder books or pocket books. I'm not sure how I label them, but I make quite a few of these, and like this one here holds all of my tickets and different types of stamps. this one here. Again, this holds only postage stamps and stamps that I've purchased from people on Instagram when they have sales. And these are really great books because you can also, there's the center as well. If I can show you, if I have any in the center, you can store taller things right in the center pocket. So it has two pockets on each end, but then you see there's a center pocket here. So these books I depend on a lot. I have another one here that has Christmas downloads that I printed out and I need to fussy cut for next year. Then there's a gal on, again, I have a lot of stamps for making ephemera with and accenting. And I went through all of these a couple months ago and I reorganized them and I did them all by color so I knew what I had. And she sells these books in her Etsy shop. I will put it in my description. I can't think right now. So I have a whole blank page. I actually have a couple blank pages after reorganizing everything. But these books are really nice to have. And when you do purchase these from her, you will receive stamps. Usually they're foreign stamps. But it's a great way to keep your stamps organized. So, you know, you're just not going through a box and looking for a particular stamp. So that makes it easy. So that's where I store my stamps and my tickets, right here. Easy to get to. And then this box here, I'm not going to pull out and show you because it's the same as this, but it's all spring and summer. It's all spring and summer stickers, you know, things like that for scrapbooking. Over here, this is a box just full of greeting cards that I want to punch and stamp, go through, and take care of them. I have, this is overflow of like Artie Mae's or anybody's little pieces that I've bought through Etsy and printed off. And this is just the overflow. And then when my other little container on my desk gets low, I just come over here and I refill it because I don't need everything shoved in one container of my desk. And then up top here, these two containers here are from Walmart. And I've had these a long time. And in here, you can see, let's see, pop this up. Let's do it. Maybe I can do it by hand. There we go. There we go. These are just little bits and pieces, brads, but these are really good to keep items in as well. I keep my hardware in here. Again, I have more sequins for other types of crafting I want to do. Over here, again, it's more miscellaneous items that I don't use a lot. These are all stickers. And then the bottom one, again, it's more little sayings and things like that. But that's a nice way to, which way is my phone going here? I've got to decide which way the camera is. There we go. But these little containers here, again, you can buy at Walmart and they're nice to have. So these drawers are really great because they slide out and they make it really easy. And if there's a drawer that I want to use, I can just take it right out and I can bring it right over to my desk. So that's what I really like about this unit. And again, I have it all set up where these are all separate drawers that come out. Like this one here, it's just full of all my little I call them packaging envelopes, but they're not. They're just all my little coin envelopes, I guess you call them. in different other envelopes that I can use to create ephemera with. And I'll give you a little, I can do a one-handed tour showing you the tops of these, but I kind of wanted to show you how these worked here. And I'm going to take my phone off. Okay, now that I have it off the holder, I can show you actually, how these drawers work. So this one here I have labeled as miscellaneous ephemera to use. And these are all items in here that I've either cut or I've created. You can see I've been doing a lot of fussy cutting at night with a lot of old vintage patterns. And again, this is a really cute storage box. Socks. My husband received socks in this at Christmas time, and he says, I think you can use this book. It's got a nice little closure on it. I don't know if it has in here I think they have magnets, but it just closes real nice. So I use this to store all of my cut girls from Simplicity, Butterick, and McCall patterns. And I keep that tucked inside this drawer here. And again, I mean, you can just see everything that these are nice drawers because, again, they do hold a lot. This one here, I have family photos in. And again, you can see these came out of a photo pack, but I mean, it's just, you can just put so much in these drawers. They really do hold a lot. This is a really nice, I was really fortunate to be able to get one of these units. The outside door here, so this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 large drawers. And then I was showing you before the smaller drawer, pull-out drawers on top. They can hold quite a few items here. These were all of the little envelopes I was showing you. I've got journaling cards here. I've got more little ephemera pieces here I can use. These are all labeled wrong. This is some scrap paper. I've got beads in there. More little items in here, but these work out really well. And then it has 2 shelves on top, and that's where I keep a lot of my brads, my grommets, other type things. And then I have miscellaneous. This is actually for count and cross stitch. Those make great containers to store things. And then behind this door is all my Project Life, which I have yet to use. Again, once I start really getting into the family scrapbooking, I'll be using a lot of these. But again, this is one of my favorite storage containers. And then on top, I have this is an old piece. It's new, but it's made to look old and vintage, where you used to put your dinner dishes and you would store them in this rack. And I have all of my books that are just my go-to for fussy cutting. And then I have my overflow, which I'll show you, is in a back, what used to be my craft room. And then these are the sequins that I use all the time for different items. And then my favorite little troll. So I've learned to really cut back on what I think I need in my craft room. There is a difference, what you think you need and what you actually need. So take that into consideration too. You don't need everything in your craft room all at once. Up on top here, this is an area where I keep all of my favorite cards from all of my favorite people. And I just received the sweetest Valentine card. I've made purchases before, and I'm going to tell you who this is. This is, she's on Etsy, and it's Sherry McCulley at Pink and Hank. And she makes, if you don't know about her, let me get this stuff back up on here. If you don't know about Sherry, she makes fabulous, fabulous cards. I have greeting cards from her. I have a perpetual birthday calendar from her. I've got postcards I've purchased from her. And she's one of my favorite people on Etsy because her cards and her items that she sells are just so whimsical and fun. So I just received that from her. So she's featured there. This card here is from a dear, dear, sweet friend, Linda. We became fast YouTube friends, and we did a lot of chatting as she watched my videos. And it's sad to say that this past fall, Linda passed away. I didn't know that. Her sister contacted me in January. I had sent Linda a Christmas card. I sent her letters. I hadn't heard anything back, and I was quite worried about her. I didn't know what to do, so I didn't do anything. And then, God bless her sister, she contacted me to let me know that she had passed away. And I received a beautiful letter from her husband thanking me for just being a bright spot in her day. So that card will stay here forever. It means a lot to me. And then these are just cards. There's a picture of my mom up there. And then again, one of my favorite people on Instagram, Jenny, there's your card, sweetie. These are just cards from family and friends and Instagram gals that just mean a lot to me. So that is I call that my crafty little corner. And then down to the right-hand side here is where I keep, again, an overflow of books and miscellaneous items. And then I think I can, if I don't go too fast, we'll come over here. And again, after I had been in my room for a year, I realized that this piece of furniture, which was, you'll see, behind my door, really needed to be over across from where I sit. It houses my printer and a lot of other goodie baskets that I'm in all the time. This fun little item here, this was my mom's tea cart that sat in our kitchen for many years. And I use it as my organizing station. And on top, of course, my iPad shouldn't be there. On top is the current project that I'm working on. And the current project is my decoupage box. And it's where I'm allowing and letting, and I want my viewers to participate in how I'm going to decorate it. So this is all the leftover items that I use to make a couple master boards and all of the wonderful floral pieces that my viewers are going to vote on as to what they want to see on the box I'm going to decoupage. And then I have all of my tapes and all of my other little items that I need every day, my stickers to work with my ephemera. And then the second shelf down here, again, this is miscellaneous papers that I can pull and I can make master boards with. In this bin here, it's left over from my blue and white journal, and I can add to my journal as I work in it. I have a master board underneath that goes with it. And then this section here, these are old containers. These were, when you went to the vegetable market, my mom used to use these. These were to carry your tomatoes in from the garden. And this was back in the 70s when contact paper was all the rage. So she used contact paper to cover all of these, and she would store her crafts in them. So again, this is from my Daisy, my Crazy Daisy, Lazy Daisy journal that I made for my girlfriend. I still have some items in there that I want to use. And then this is my current project, which is the decoupaged box. And I have the few items in here that I showed in my video and that I'll be using to create that box. And I just find it, and again, this container here is of upcoming projects. You can see some dried flowers in here. I'm going to be making some specimen cards. I'll be doing a video on that. So everything in here are projects that I will be putting up on YouTube. And then on the side, it's where I keep my tape glider, which constantly falls over. So I've got to think of something a little different there. And then on the end here is where I keep stickers that I either put on packaging or I use on journaling cards or whatever. So they're right at my fingertips. And then this is my little my little crafty cart on wheels. And this gets rolled over to my desk when I'm working because it has all of my essential tools on here that I like to use. So that's kind of a no-brainer. And then this is the table that used to be over behind my door. And I really went through these bottom bins, these baskets, and decided what I absolutely needed in here, and the rest got stored. So these are just some of my 12 by 12 papers that I keep there. And this is my large crocodile punch that I use for bigger projects. And then this is for office work and stuff, and my printers. Down here are my washi tapes for overflow, and then I can just replenish my container that sits underneath my desk. This here is just all my papers for printing. In here, I decided that I needed to be a little more organized with my stamps. So I have all of my red lead stamps in here. And then this is just all miscellaneous acrylic blocks for the stamps. This basket here is just all miscellaneous stamps that I like to use, but I don't use that often. I have my messy mat there stored. Down below is some ephemera pieces, a lot of just little pieces I can pick out, bingo cards, etc., to use. These are some of my favorite stamps, punches that I use, so I keep them there in that Tupperware bin. And then these are all in here. I'm not going to pull it out because it's really heavy. These are all scrapbooking chipboard pieces. And then in here, these all go, these are all little items for my, what do you call that? They're all embossing things for my little embossing machine. So I have all of those stored in that section. So that works out really well. Again, another small suitcase that houses all envelopes for me. And I keep that box on top as a reminder that there are envelopes in that suitcase right there. And then this bookshelf here is very well organized. And up on top, I keep my Christmas washi tape. That's a little bit of Halloween jingle bells there. This is where I keep all of my, my waxing stamps and my wax for seals, my wax seal items. This here, I keep all of my buff rubs, my golds. This is the box that I did a video on showing all of my fussy cuts from my mom, my Betsy Clark, and my girlfriend just made that for me. I love it. And then behind that, again, is an old hair dryer suitcase from the 60s, and I keep more washi tape in there. So, and that doesn't get pulled out too often. Then on this shelf here are my personal journals that I write in, and that's my Christmas one. And then these are scrapbooks of the family that I'm working on now. And then the last three shelves are everything to do with my Big Shot, and this is where I keep all of my Thinlits. I have Fun Stamper Journey, all of their items in here. And then this is where I keep, these are 32 bags. I keep all of my Stampin' Up! Stamps and other miscellaneous stamps in here. So it's very well organized for me. I have my cinch there with everything that goes with my cinch in here. And it just works out. It just works out really, really well for me. And then this is the desk that used to be where the printers are, and the printers used to be over here. And again, this works out much better when I'm sitting taking care of bills or writing a letter or something. I can look out my window and it's a nice spot. And this is where I keep all of my journals that I've either made or purchased. I have all of my Tim Holtz, my Stays On, and all of my fun little inks up here. These two items were purchased at Hobby Lobby, and I really like them. And these can just come out, and I can take them over to my desk. And you can hang these either on the wall or just put them like I have on a shelf. And then I've got, again, my junk journals up there. I have a lot of art books up there I can refer to. I keep my ink for my printers in that green little container. I've got my two boys up there, my baby Groot and my big Groot. And again, my junk journals that I can work on when I want to pull them down. So I'll give you an overview of my craft room. And then behind that door there, I'm not going to show you, but it's where it's a long, deep closet. And that's where I have all my 12 by 12 papers stored. I don't know if I have the light on, I will show you, but yeah, the light's on. So I keep my Sari silk in here. There's my granddaughter. Keep my Sari silks in here. And you can see up here. This used to be a home office as well. And that's why we have this type of shelving in here. But that houses all of my papers and everything else that I may need. And then that rack there is full of 12 by 12 papers. So I really have a lot of storage in this room. So this is the overall view of my craft room. And you can see my desk is very well set up too. And it took me a while to figure out how I wanted to use everything. But as I sit at my desk, it really works out well for me. You know, I have my sewing machine. I'm sitting in my chair now. I have my sewing machine here to the left, so I can just swing around and use that. And then these are everyday items that I use while I'm crafting. I have my cigar boxes here full of little ephemera pieces, and this is where I can, you know, watch my TV. I have this cute little book here that houses a lot of little ephemera. And again, I have this tutorial on my YouTube channel as to how this is a coaster book. And this is just made with drinking coasters. And that's really cute. All my necessities I have there. My glues and these are the 3 ink pads I use the most. And my mom's with me every day crafting, watching over me, making sure I'm doing it right. And then I've got my Cricut. And yeah, that's about it. My computer. And then down below to the right of me is this really cool storage container. And I love it because I have my washi tape in here. I can just pull them out. I've got my ribbons and different fibers. This is for my planner books. I've got miscellaneous ephemera and junk in there, along with some yummy Lindt chocolates. And then these bottom two is where I keep tools and my instruction booklets. So this works out really, really well for me. And then to the left is where I can just reach down and grab my cutting tools and things like that. And then in this one here, this 32, it's either 32 or 36. I don't know what it is. These are all plain scrapbooking papers in here. I don't have them in my storage closet. So from here, let me take you down the hall, and I'm going to show you where I keep all of my This is my dining room. down here. And I have a lot of fun items, a lot of fun vintage items in there. My home is all Adirondack style, and you can tell by all the wood. This room here used to be where my craft room was, and it's pretty small. It makes a really perfect one bedroom, one person bedroom, great for a, boy or a girl. But now it's a guest room. One of the grandkids stay in here when they come and visit from Florida. But when I did have my craft room in here, I had these really cool shelves put in. And this is where I keep the overflow of a lot of my books. And this duck stamp book here, this is where I cut a lot of stamps out as well. This is a really cool, if you're into ducks, this is a really nice book that you can cut stamps out of. So this is an overflow of different books that I use. And then, of course, I have my pops in here, some of my favorite pops that the boys have given me. And then this is the closet over here that I keep my overflow in. And this is going to be torn apart in another month. They're going to put a rack in here. This is a California closet. They're going to be putting a rack in here for clothes. I don't need all of this anymore for my scrapbooking and other items, but I'm going to leave these shelves here, and you can see I had all of these books. Everything I had on these shelves I had in my craft room, and it was just too much. I didn't need it all. I mean, I had my Canon paper in there, and it was just silly to have it all in there when I only, need it a little bit at a time. So again, I'm fortunate to have these shelves for overflow. These are all tablecloths, and if anybody ever needs anything, just feel free to contact me if you're looking for something special, and I wouldn't mind, cutting you some pieces and sending it, because I have so much, I'll never use it all. That's where I have my tapes stored. These are more vintage patterns, cards. So again, this is where, and there's still more on the left side over here. On this side, I have items as well in storage, but don't think that you have to keep everything in your craft room. So there's one more spot I'm going to show you, and it's going to be a surprise. So I'm going to turn the camera off now. I'm going to show you the other overflow area. All right, this is my other overflow area, and it's cold in here. It was 5 below this morning. This room has no heat. It's over our garage, but this room, I call this my wrapping room because I used to store my boys' Christmas presents in here, and they didn't know anything about it. But again, this is where I store a lot of items that I use, but I don't use that often. I have items in this large armoire here and down below, but it just makes it very handy. I have this card table, as you can see, set up with items in boxes. A lot of this is still from my mom's home, and I'm going through it little by little. This black by Creative Memories, this black storage container, it's chock full of count and cross stitch, thread, and books, and items that are half done from myself and from my mom. So they will be going into a junk journal, but I keep all my thread in here. I used to have my sewing machine set up in here, but I have a lot of sewing items. These are all of my Barbie doll clothes and patterns that my mom had, that she made. So those are all the patterns. So there's a lot of things that I'm not quite sure what to do with yet. I'm still organizing, but I am figuring it out. So, but this is a fun little room. So we will head back, turn the corner, and we will head back to my craft room. Okay, my friends, that concludes the 2022 tour of my craft room. I really thank you for joining in. I can't tell you how much joy this channel has given me, getting to know a lot of my viewers, a lot of people that are so kind to comment. I really do enjoy chatting with everyone. I know sometimes I can be a little bit chatty in my videos. I'm trying to cut back on some of that. I know it's sometimes it's just silly, but I've had a really wonderful response since I've been at this for the last year, full time. I try to put work out there that maybe you might not see on someone else's channel. And when I do get good positive feedback from that, I kind of know what direction to go in. I really want to make my channel a little different. I know a lot of people are interested in scrapbooking. They're not interested in card making. I still enjoy doing work like that. And maybe from time to time, you can pick up a little tip if you do join in and watch a video that I've done such as that, or maybe there's a new technique that, I mean, I certainly don't have any new techniques. I kind of follow what other gals do, and I certainly create what I like to create. So far so good. I've had a wonderful response. I'm very happy with my audience. I want to thank you all really from the bottom of my heart. It's just like with Linda. Her passing was very unfortunate, but there's, few gals that I've really connected with, and I just really enjoy your feedback. I enjoy your comments, and I do. If there's somebody out there that can help me improve my crafting ability, bring it on. I'm open to any suggestion you may have. I'm new to the collaging. I'm new still to the junk journal world. I'm learning from all the other great gals out there, so I can just impart on you what I know and maybe a technique that I do that somebody else doesn't do. But again, I want to thank you. I want to thank all my new subscribers. I want to thank all my returning subscribers. So as long as I get feedback and I get thumbs ups and I get good positive feedback, I will continue. So thank you, everybody, from the bottom of my heart. This will probably be the last room tour. Can't do anything else with it unless I get a new little filing system or something like that. So thank you again, and I will see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.